Okay, we have an epidermal inclusion cyst here. It's a good 2, almost 3 centimeters in the axilla under pressure. These ones that get this size can be tender, you know, and once they start getting bigger, it's time to remove them so she's not in pain constantly and it doesn't get greatly inflamed. So we'll do that today. Okay, we have epidermal inclusion cyst here in the axilla. It's been tender and getting inflamed, and when they overstay their welcome like that, it's time for it to come out. It's under quite a bit of pressure. We're gonna make just a little elliptical cut and then see if we can drain some of those contents out there to make this scar smaller, because we're gonna be taking it out through a smaller hole. That's good. Dab there. There we go. The axilla has pretty good blood flow usually. Dab a little bit. There we go. That's a little inflamed. You can see here. Yeah, you might feel a little pressure. Any pain now?
A little bit, but no.
Yeah. It kind of popped already. There's a lot of fluid in there.
It popped inside?
Yeah, and it happens sometimes. You can see here, there's a bunch of ingrown hairs in there with it too.
Oh.
So you can see that. These little ingrown hairs and kind of cyst particles there. Do a little pressure to get that. And we just barely touched it and then it started draining. So that's good. To relieve the pressure, that's some of the tenderness you were feeling. Go deeper, we're gonna go with the scissors here. And see if we can pull that sac out. There's parts of it here. Dab the pressure. No pain?
No.
Good. Get some gauze there. Yeah, there's a little bit right there I can see. There's a long hair in there too. You can see here it's all ingrown. And that's what happens sometimes. We'll get these clogged pores, we'll get some ingrown hairs, and get a little pocket in there like that. And it looks like any cyst wall was obliterated actually, just destroyed. Oh, we got a lot of these long hairs in here. We got a little pocket of ingrowns in there. Let's see. This is cyst kind of contents here too. No pain? Just pulling a little bit down there. Let me know I can put more lidocaine in there. Yeah, I'm not seeing much cyst wall now. This is kind of in a little pinch there.
Yeah,
we'll get you.
The hairs?
Well, you had some ingrown hairs in there. Let me get a little bit more lidocaine. It looks like possibly, and cysts can start sometimes from an ingrown hair, but you had an inflamed cyst. That's why it was so painful and swollen recently. And the cyst kind of obliterated, they pop. And then it's just kind of like a big soupy mess in there. That's why just a bunch of fluid came out.
Yeah.
Feel that there?
No.
No sting?
No.
Just going a little deeper here, making sure you don't feel any tugging on that. That's good. But definitely there were some 2-inch hairs that were in there that were just ingrown.
Wow.
And you do have there's a clogged pore right there. Sometimes we'll get little pockets like that under the arms that can happen. Not much in there. What we are seeing is some normal fat tissue here too. This is obliterated cyst wall right there. You can see, I say a lot, trying to eat soup with a fork. You can kind of see it gets soupy like that. Pretty please. Good news is that pressure is gone, so you're gonna feel a lot better.
No more flames.
That's right.
Flare-ups. Flare-ups.
No more flare-ups. Right there. Let's see if we can scrape just a little bit out there. Checking all the edges for you. Yeah, that's just kind of obliterated pieces of cyst there as well. And are you still on an antibiotic or no?
No.
It's been a little while, a couple weeks?
Yeah. I say like 3 maybe.
Yeah. So it's gonna dry up after this. So if we might put you on 2 more weeks of antibiotic after we drain like this, just to help so everything kind of goes down.
Okay.
And so it dries up, and that little pocket that was in there with ingrown hairs will dry up so it doesn't kind of refill or get inflamed. Just seeing some fat tissue in here, a little bit of cyst particles. We can't get every single piece because they're just kind of little tiny bits. But that pocket is drained, which is the good news. You can't feel that at all. That's good. And that looks good. And we'll watch it. If it tries to reform and it's dry and not inflamed like this, and sometimes we can get that dry sac out for you. I don't see any more in there, just some fat tissue. Looks good. So we're gonna put some stitches in. One more check here. On this side, I don't see anything there. It's just regular fat tissue. Possibly a little bit of cyst wall right at the surface. Good. Okay, a couple little stitches that we're gonna get out in 2 weeks. Yeah. I got out everything visually I could see. They look like ingrown hair or cyst, and you did have some big ingrowns in there too, which probably played a part there. So.
The angles are bad.
I know the angles are bad in some of these rooms for sure. delicate skin behind it. And then dab a little. And let's see if we can get a good bite on that. Okay, let me see my pressure here. Everything out of that pocket for her.
My tummy's growling.
It's lunchtime, huh? This one and one more, so just 4 small stitches all you're gonna have. Pressure here. Well, it's gonna look really nice. Hopefully the cyst doesn't reform.
Once you cut it, it shouldn't come back, right?
Well, if I got out the whole sac in its entirety, that cyst wouldn't come back.
Okay.
However, this cyst likely exploded, kind of got real big, and that's why it got really red and inflamed.
Oh.
And then it busts kind of like a balloon popping. And there's lots of little bits of balloon all over the place. If you don't find every little tiny bit, then one of them will reform and usually turn back into a cyst. So it's possible it comes back. We kind of flushed some stuff out with the Q-tip, kind of tried to scrape the little bits out, but you know, you can't really see it because it's the same color a lot of times as everything around it. So, but you know, you did have some ingrown hairs there too, which could have been like a little abscess. That, you know, looks like I saw a little bit of cyst wall, but you can also have an abscess from some ingrown hairs or just kind of like a clogged pore. And then you just had a lot of fluid in there. And when I first just barely poked it, there's actually quite a bit that drained out. And that was that pocket we were most likely feeling. And I found several 2-inch hairs. So if it was just kind of an ingrown abscess, kind of little pocket there, we drain it and pick those hairs out. Usually it's good. But it looks good, just 4 small stitches. So that was interesting. It kind of looked like a little cyst at first and actually ended up being kind of like a little inflamed pocket, which was either a ruptured cyst or an abscess from those ingrown hairs that we took out. Time will tell. We'll do a short antibiotic period of 10 to 14 days and then get the stitches out and see if that all stays down. Then it was just an abscess and that's the end of it. But we'll do some follow-ups here and make sure she's doing okay and it isn't reforming. And if it is, we'll take it out.